Well, I tell you what, Jerry, I appreciate you being here with me. You're a blessing. You've always been a blessing. You're solid, okay? And it's important that we, people, and we all know people that try their best and never really get to accomplish anything, and it's okay. But I wouldn't want them driving the bus saying, I'm going to try my best. I want to know they can drive the bus, okay? And I think of you. When I think of you, I think of that. Think of somebody solid that's not just giving it their best shot, but to actually get the job done. And I think we have to do that.
Well, I like to say this. You was talking about the bus. That was one of the first jobs that I had.
Right.
And believe it or not, it's true. When I was 17, I was driving. I was a junior in high school, and I was driving the bus, and I drove the vocational school bus. Got paid for it, and I would do morning runs and substitute runs. And Roger Rife, which Roger's in his 80s, and he's still he's the chairman of the board of supervisors in Grundy. Yeah. And I was down at one of the board meetings, and he come out in the hall where, is on the break there. He said, I couldn't believe that we used to ride the Pocahontas with you. I used to drive to the ball games and play. Yeah. And that was on the old roads, not the new roads they got now. And you've been at Pocahontas, old Pocahontas High School. Yeah. And we would go up there and pray, and play, and we would go up there. But I drive the bus. But God gave me a message. There was a teacher told me, Piney Mullins told me one day, and it broke my heart. She told me, I want to tell you something happened one time. I've never told you, but I said, I'm going to tell you now. He said, when you was driving the bus and y'all would all go and get on the bus, some of them other teachers say, there goes to misfits and rejects. I didn't know that vocation was viewed. It's not viewed like that now. They're needing the carpenters and the plumbers and electricians. And Mr. Rose helped at the dirty jobs. But that was kind of putting us down, and it hurt my heart that it was teachers doing it. They supposed to be leaders and trying to get the best out of you. But I thought about that, and I preach a message. Misfits and rejects, but they was about a dozen on that bus, and but there was about 8 men, and 4 of them was ladies. 5 ministers come off of that bus, misfits and rejects. Some of them's gone on to be with the Lord.
Right. You don't know. I mean, I was telling them they started me vocational school when I was in the 8th grade, not a junior in high school. By the time I got out, I had a welding certificate, carpentry, and sheet metal. I could do all of it.
Well, they just worked out for you. You're a MacGyver.
I can do anything.
I know you can. You're a MacGyver.
I can make it work, and I don't mind it.
You're an engineer, electrician, whatever it takes.
I have to be.
Minister.
I have to be. It's just, I've been blessed in situations not to have money to hire, that I couldn't hire somebody to do something. I had to do it myself. Now, I would have loved to hire somebody, but I couldn't do it. And the Lord blessed me not to have it, so I had to learn how to do it. But it worked out okay.
Well, I tell everybody, I admire the talents the Lord's given you, but like I said, you started early taking those trades, and it's got you to where you're at.
I mean, I can. Only thing I ever had an issue with is I took a motor out. I used to have a lot of Volkswagens. I'd take a motor out and change spark plugs. I could drop that motor out like it had Velcro on it, crawl up under it and get hold of it myself, bring it down, bring her out, and work on them. But I took a motor out of a Corvair one time. I never got it back together. I ended up having to get it crushed. I remember my grandpa coming by and seeing me had that motor out of that Corvair, and he said, I wish you hadn't have done that, boy.
He know, didn't he? Wisdom, he knows.
I ain't going to get it back in.
That wisdom and knowledge, he knows,
They ended up crushing it. But I don't know. Some stuff I just couldn't get it. Well, again, I appreciate you. You've been a blessing.
And I appreciate you.
Appreciate you coming by and taking. What do you think about this shed? Ain't it something?
I like it.
It always astounds people when they come in. If they look at it and think, and then they walk up to it, they never know where we're going quite. They look at it, and I said, the program's called Just From the Shed. What was you expecting? It's a shed. Okay?
Hey, wherever you're at, if you're on the riverbank, we lost a great minister over in Buchanan County, Darrell Davis,
Mm-hmm.
and he done the program Riv Up on WLFG,
right.
with these motorcycles,
yeah.
and he'd go out in different locations.
And
and I always liked that program. God gives people different talents, and
I believe that too. I think it's just I think we got to do our part. Just mind our business and do our part.
Yeah, do our part. Not worry about the other fella.
Mind your business, the more of your business you get done.
That's what Jesus told Peter. You do what I told you. Don't worry about John. They thought he was going to live until the Lord come back, didn't he?
Well, I appreciate you watching just from the shed. Be sure and like, share, and follow, and do all that stuff you're supposed to do. If you got any ideas or thoughts, if they're good ones, I like to hear them. Or if they're bad ones, send them to Fox News or NBC or somebody like that. All right. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Adios, and pass the ammunition.